this video, I'll be giving away everything I've learned about sales data, about high-ticket products and services after scaling 4 different businesses to millions and currently generating over €1 million a month with our portfolio companies. We'll be going over what numbers to gather, how to gather them, and how to make decisions based on those numbers. And after watching this video, you'll have all the information to know how to scale to hundreds of thousands a month. Decision making with data is something that I see a lot of people struggle with, and nobody really seems to understand how to properly do this. So there's a lot to be learned right here. First of all, what's important to understand is that the goal and the purpose of a sales team is to extract as much money as possible out of the leads available, making the business as profitable as can be and allow it to scale and grow. The holy number to look at is the average order value per call booked, and this is the total order value divided by the amount of calls booked. And this is a number which we heavily look at to determine if a closer is good or not. If this number is below €500, the closer really needs to improve quickly. If the number is between 500 and 1,000, he still needs to improve pretty well. If he's doing between 1,000 and 1,500, the closer is actually doing pretty good. And every closer consistently having this number above $1,500 is making loads of money at our company. If this number is not yet where we want it to be with a closer, we look at the following 3 KPIs, which are the closing rate, show-up rate, and the cancel rate. Okay, now it's really important to grab some pen and paper because in the next few minutes I'll be spilling the sauce. Let's first get into how exactly do we measure these KPIs. The show-up rate is the amount of calls taken divided by the amount of calls booked minus the cancels. And the cancel rate is the amount of calls cancelled divided by the calls booked. If the show-up rate is good, 80% or higher, and the cancel rate is good, 20% or lower, but the closing rate, aka the conversion rate, is bad, 40% or lower, this means we have a converting issue, which means we need to dive into the call recordings of the sales reps and improve their closing rate by training them and improving them. And I have a full breakdown and video about how we properly train sales reps to currently do over €1 million a month. So make sure to just go to my channel and watch that video after this one. Then if your closing rate is good, but you have trouble with your cancel and show-up rate, you can have 2 different issues with this closer. Number 1 is that your closer is lazy, and this means that you have a management and culture issue within your business as well. And if you're unable to solve this, your business will shrink or get stuck in the next few months. Number 2 is that there's a lack of know-how, good script, or skill on what to do between the moment the lead books a call and the call itself. So solve this issue, you can also just go to my YouTube channel. I've already made a video on how to fix your show-up and cancel rate and tell you exactly what to do. The last KPIs to look at are cash collected and order value, and in general these numbers give an idea on what skill to interpret the other KPIs. If someone has just had 3 calls and collected 3K, the numbers are on too low of a skill to actually draw conclusions on, and you don't want to draw conclusions too quickly. Then we also have the cash collected percentage, which is the cash collected divided by the total order value. And you typically want to have this number around 60% in order to have a good, healthy business, have good cash flow, and enough room to grow. If the number's too low, you'll see struggles collecting all of the payments, and you'll encounter cash flow problems, especially if your ROAS is not sufficient. But if your number's too high, you're leaving a lot of money on the table and you need to increase your prices. Alright, next topic, please use a good CRM. And because I already know you'll have this question, I will show exactly what CRM we use, how we build it out to generate over €1 million a month with our portfolio companies. If you're using Monday, GoHighLevel, or ClickUp, I would advise you to really pay attention here, because I think those CRMs are fine if you're just getting started, but if you're between 10 and 50K a month right now and you really want to get to 200K, 400K, or even 800K a month, I believe that you really need to step up your systems game and you need to improve your CRM. And I really love Airtable for this. Now, while it's pretty hard to understand and build out properly, if you are able to build it out properly, you can make it exactly to your liking. And I really like the overview and data you get from this, and you can make any sort of dashboard you want. We are currently analyzing really deeply the connections between marketing, leads, and sales data on a level that none of our competitors are capable of doing. This allows us to tweak and optimize on different levels, and this is the exact reason why we currently have the biggest businesses in the game in our portfolio. Okay, anyways, you just want to see what the CRM looks like and why and how we built it out. So let's dive into a screen and I will show you exactly what it looks like. like. So this is pretty much what the CRM and Airtable for us looks like. And we have three different things: data, automations, and interfaces. Data, this is pretty much where all the data comes in. It's collected and sorted. Then automations is pretty much the communication between the sales data and the other departments of the business. And interfaces is where we have all the dashboarding. And then dashboarding is where we can look at all the stats and all the data we need. So here you can sort everything by month, by week. We can select different sources, so paid or organic, or even more sources for other partners. Then we see the deal value, the revenue, leaderboard per closer. We see the order value, conversion, cancel rate, all the data we pretty much talked about in this whole video. It's also sorted per closer here, so we know exactly what to do with every closer to get them up to speed. And then we can make all the dashboarding or connections, etc., and draw conclusions from everything we like, because we have all the data and we can really easily pick and source everything. And then here per closer, we have the whole CRM, so that they know exactly what leads to follow up with, etc., so that they never miss a lead. We also have the appointments, book calls, and warm leads. And then here we also have a calendar, so that we know exactly what's going on every single day in terms of sales calls. So if you want this CRM for yourself, but you have no idea how to build it out, just shoot me a message on Instagram at menno.wieringa, and I can have my team build it out for you. Now, only do this though if you are at like 20k plus a month. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense, as it is quite expensive to build out, because it will cost my team of experts a couple of days. Now, while you're on Instagram, make sure to follow me there anyways, and subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't done already, and I'll see you at the next one. Ciao.